I hope that you guys bought your World Legacy monstrosities, because we have a whole archetype of different level 9s, different attributes, and you know what that means? Buyouts! So, we got what appears to be the first of the real level 9s. So, this is Mardal, Generoid of Light. So, you don't use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. So you can only control one Mardal, the Generoid? Okay, I'm going to call him the General of Light. So I like that they all stuck one of clauses on these. So, if this card was normal or special summon, you can add a plant monster or one Generoid monster from your deck to your hand. Except for Mardal, Generoid? Yeah, Generoid of Light. So, Plant Recruiter, A-OK. And we get to recruit for another Generoid. Alright, hey Monstrosity, I'm looking at you, buddy. Next up, we got Fraudar, General of the Sword. So you can only control one Fraudir, the Generoid of the Sword. This actually absolutely looks gorgeous, by the way. Quick effect, you contribute any number of Generoid monsters and or warrior monsters, and target that many monsters on the field, destroy those targets. Then your opponent can draw cards equal to the number of monsters they controlled that were destroyed with this effect. I'm a little bit edgy about this effect, as I should be allowed to be, because anytime my opponent's able to kind of generalize and capitalize off of this, that's bad. But it is a free board nuke, and it's a quick effect, which is actually pretty insane. I actually really like that part for the disruption on the opponent's turn. I just don't like my opponent drawing cards. And I think that's a worthy thing to say. So, this is Divergs, the Generoid of Ion. So we can only control one of Fred once per turn. I assume that this is our machine guy. So, quick effect, you contribute any number of Generoid monsters and or machine monsters. Special summon in defense mode the same number of Generoid monsters and or machine monsters from your hand that have different names from each other than the attributed monsters. It's almost like they wanted these cards to be generic with their archetypes. In terms of a pure build with True Kings and things like that, I'm curious to see the synergy, because I'm glad to see that we haven't put clauses or restrictions on these, but very interesting to take note of that, though. Next up, we have... This is literally just a fire demon. This is Naglfar, General of Flames. So, of course, we can only control one Naglfar, the General of Flames. If a card you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy one Generoid or Beast Warrior you control instead. Huh. These really are the generals of different archetypes. Okay, that's pretty cool. One copy of Ned, Generoid of the Ice. Ooh, that's pretty cool. I like that. So, you can only control one of him once per turn. If your opponent special summons a monster, quick effect, contribute one Generoid or Wyvern monster to negate that summon, and if you do, destroy it. Alright. I think this is the best one right here, actually. Quick effect. Yeah, if your opponent special summons a monster. Right? Sucks that it's once per turn, but, you know, antics aside, I think that that's pretty okay. I wish they had more special summon clauses in this deck, but okay. Next up is the Hell, Generoid of Death. Damn, she hot. Alright. Everybody ever ask you why you want a gothic girlfriend? This card is why. Alright, like, see how thick she is? Yeah, she hot. Alright. So, she's 800, 2900, so we can only use second effect her once per turn. So, we can control one Hell Generoid of Death. Quick effect. You contribute one Generoid or zombie monster and then target one Generoid or zombie monster in your graveyard with a different name. Special summon that monster in defense mode. Best zombie support we've gotten in forever, and it's from another archetype. Level 9, quick effect. She can tribute herself or a zombie and then target another zombie in your graveyard, or herself and revive herself. I mean, it doesn't work that way, but you know what I mean. Beautiful. Thank you, zombies. I'm proud of you. You got a huge boost out of this. Now, we have the Link monster and a few other things here. So, Haramanganda, Generoid of Eternity. So, Shenron decided he wanted to be a card for some reason. It's 2+ level 9 monsters. You can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. So, of course, you only get to control one of him. Wouldn't be fair if we could. This card's original attack and defense are equal to the number of materials attached to it times 1,000. Okay, so 2 materials under it's 2,000, 3 it's 4. Yeah, you get what I mean. Quick effect, detach a material from this card. Each player draws a card, then each player that drew chooses one card from their hand or on their field. And you attach those chosen cards to this card as material. I'm intrigued by this because, one, it allows you to suck up things on the field if your opponent wants to keep the card in their hand, which honestly forces bad decisions. I think this card overall is pretty questionable, but it is interesting nonetheless. So I say that hesitantly because I don't think we're going to play this. I think the new cards are all better support in their own decks, but together they're interesting. Now, the Generoid stage field spell. Alright, that's interesting. So, once per turn, if your opponent adds a card from their deck to the hand, you can special summon one Generoid monster from your deck. Frickin' excuse me? During your opponent's turn, if you special summon a Generoid monster, you can special summon as many Generoid tokens. 4 18/18 is possible, but they are destroyed during the end phase. I can make chum blocks for no reason? What? That's nuts! Alright. Generoid reward. Why is there a loot box in here? What? So, Generoid reward. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. So if you control a token, your opponent cannot target Generoid effect monsters for attacks. If the Generoid Link monster is destroyed by battle, your opponent draws a card. Alright, so I'm going to be straight honest with you. I don't think our opponent's ever getting over our boss monster via battle at any point in time, unless they just split that up. But that card is interesting. Alright, I see you. Out here with the interesting support cards. Generoid Quest. So we'll reveal one Generoid monster from our hand, then add 2 Generoid spell and trap cards with different names except for Quest, and then place the revealed card on the bottom of your deck. Huh. So I use this, and I can go search for reward and stage in my spells and traps? Well, don't mind if I do. Alright, that's pretty good. Generoid Battle. You can only activate one card with the effect of this card's name once per turn. Activate one Generoid field spell from your deck or graveyard, and then if you do, your opponent draws a card. Is there a reward for my opponent drawing cards? Because, well, I guess we're using this to trigger our field spell, which would then trigger, and then we get to use it. Okay, I guess. Generoid Territory. You only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. When your opponent activates a card or effect in response to the activation of the effect of a Generoid card, you can discard one card, and the effect becomes each player draws a card. I'm not a super big fan of this. Be just honest with you guys. This card seems kind of bad. Generoid Bite. Tribute any number of Generoid monsters you control, and then target one Xyz monster you control. Attach an equal number of Generoid monsters, except the tributed monsters from your hand or your side of the field or your graveyard, to the target as Xyz materials. Huh. All of this work just to load up my fatty boss monster that doesn't do anything else. My final thoughts on this archetype. This field spell, interesting. I think Metaverse does it better. I get it. You want to use the card in combination with this to summon your guy, and then you want to be able to, you know, do tokens here, which is fine. Don't get me wrong. The spell card, you get rewarded, literally, for this. Jokes aside. But I don't know. It's more interesting, and this is one of the best zombie support cards I think I've ever seen in my life. But, I digress. What do you guys think about this? Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And, well, if I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a Truffle Shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.